Now coming to navigation satellite system. So why it is called navigation? Because it was initially used for navigation purpose, and later it is used by civilians as well as other you can say authorized user for coordinate, or you can say position estimation. Okay, so what is NSS? NSS is navigation satellite system. So it is a system of satellite which is used for navigational purpose, and it provides autonomous geospatial positioning with global or regional coverage. So few NSS are global and few are regional. So I will give you some example what are the global satellite system and what are regional navigation satellite system. Few example of satellite systems are GPS from USA, then GLONASS from Russia, Galileo from European Union, Beidou from China, IRNSS from India. And out of these, the most common one is GPS, because it was launched almost 30 years back and it is still functional. And that's why the number of users of GPS are quite high. It provides coordinate in WGS84. So WGS84 is the coordinate system, or you can say the reference ellipsoid, which I defined earlier. So a reference ellipsoid whose name is WGS84 is used by GPS to estimate the coordinate. So all the coordinate provided by GPS are in WGS84 coordinate system. And keep in mind, this is your horizontal datum. Although it will also provide the H value, but that H will be with respect to reference ellipsoid, but not with respect to vertical datum. WGS84 is also a conventional terrestrial reference frame, CTRS. The short form is CTRS. Terrestrial reference frames are actually those frames which are linked or which are attached with the terrestrial or Earth, which means they are rest with respect to Earth. As you already know that Earth is rotating and also revolving. So if Earth is rotating itself and if you try to fix the axis, which is not going to move along with Earth, then what happen? You will get different coordinate of same point at different time. Excuse me. And that's why system is used which is fixed with respect to Earth. And that's why WGS84 is also known as Earth Center Earth Fix, ECEF. Earth Center Earth Fix, ECEF. Now coming to a few example of global navigation satellite system. The very first or very common one is the GPS. As already mentioned, it is operated and controlled by USA. It is active, and the reference frame which is used by GPS is WGS84. The second one is GLONASS. Even the full form of GLONASS itself is the Global Navigation Satellite System. So it is quite confusing, because if someone asks you what is the short form of Global Navigation Satellite System, so you can say both GLONASS as well as GNSS. So GLONASS is the satellite system which is used by Russia. It is also active, and the reference frame which is used by GLONASS is not the WGS84, but it is PZ90, Parametries Zemley. And it was established in, or you can say defined in 1990, and that's why it is used that term 90. The next one is Galileo, and it is controlled or maintained combinedly by European Union or all the countries which are in Europe. It is also active, and the reference frame which is used by Galileo is Galileo Terrestrial Reference Frame, GTRF. And the next one is Beidou. The country is China. It is also active, and the reference frame which is used by the Beidou is China Terrestrial Reference Frame, CGCS. Now coming to few example of regional navigation satellite system. So the most common and the interesting one is the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System, IRNSS. Because nowadays, even in India itself, lot of people are using IRNSS system for positioning. It is also known as NAVIC, Navigation Indian Constellation. So the country which is controlled and operated, or you can say maintain, is actually India, active, and the reference frame which is used by IRNSS is WGS84. And the next one is the Quasi Zenith Satellite System, QZSS. And the country which maintain it is Japan. It is also active, and the reference frame which is used by QGSS is Japan Satellite Navigation Geodetic System. So as you have seen, I have shown you 4 GNSS and 2 RNSS. So 4 global navigation satellite system and 2 regional navigation satellite system. Few of them are using WGS84 and few of them are using different. But there is a transformation function available to transform from one system to another system. So if you are getting a coordinate in one system and if you want to have the same coordinate in another system, you can use that transformation function to transform the coordinate from one system to another system. Now, as I already mentioned that the GPS is the most common and most popular one. So I will give you basic idea about GPS. So there are multiple, or you can say 3 different segments in GPS. So the 3 segments are space segment, control segment, and user segments. So all the civilians which are using GPS are fall in user segments because we are using the service as a user. So we are all user, and we only communicate with space segment. We are not in communication with control segment. So control segment is that segment which actually control the entire GPS system. It will check the health of satellite. It will check how they are moving, their orbital or path correction. So all these things are maintained by control segment. And control segment does not communicate with user. The user is only going to communicate with space. So we are getting signal from space, and then we are processing that signal to get the coordinate. So I will give you a brief idea about what is the space segment and what does it have, which is useful for us as a user. So in space segment, we have 24 plus satellite. So initially when GPS was launched, there was only 24 satellites, which were bare minimum required for the positioning. But later on, a few more satellites were launched for the redundancy purpose and for better accuracy. Now, 6 orbital planes with ascending nodes at approximately 60-degree apart are there. So orbital planes are the planes which are formed because of the orbit of the satellite. So all of you have idea that satellite orbit around the Earth. So it will have a closed path, and that closed path will have a plane. So that plane is called orbital plane. And there are different ascending nodes. So ascending nodes are the point where satellite move from either southern hemisphere to northern hemisphere, which means the lower part of Earth to upper part of Earth, or from northern hemisphere to southern hemisphere. So when I am saying ascending node, which means satellite is going from southern to northern, and when I am saying descending node, it is going from northern to southern. So there are 6 orbital planes which are aligned at 60-degree to each other. I will show you a diagram. Now each plane contains 4 to 5 satellites. So minimum 4 satellites will be there for each plane, for each orbit. And as I already told that few more satellites were launched in later period. So there is a possibility that some orbit have more than 4 satellites. Now these satellites broadcast position and time info on 2 separate frequencies. So they are broadcasting the position of satellite itself, not the position of the receiver. So wherever satellite is there, if it is transmitting a signal, it is sending its own coordinate along with the time info. Time info means at what time signal was sent. So the broadcast position, the position of satellite along with time on two different frequencies, and those frequencies are L1 and L2. So the technical details are not part of this webinar, so I am not going into much detail. So the two information, broadcast position and time infos, are actually transformed using those two frequencies L1 and L2. The altitude of satellite is approximately 20,000 kilometers. And when I say altitude, means height above the Earth's surface, not from the center of the Earth. So all the satellites are roughly 20,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Now, minimum 4 satellites should be visible for any location which is unobstructed to estimate the coordinate of receiver. If there is more than 4 satellites, it is very good, but minimum 4 is required. I will give you a picture of how the satellite is revolving. So look at it here. It is a visual example of 24 satellite GPS constellation in motion with Earth rotating. So Earth is not fixed. The point in this example is Golden, Colorado in USA. So you can see at different moment, different number of satellites are visible from that particular location. And you won't find that at any point less than 4 satellites are visible. So minimum 4 will be there. More than 4 is also possible. Now coming to GPS operating principles. So how GPS actually operate? So the operating principle of GPS is to estimate or calculate the distance between receiver and satellite, which is called range. So the distance is measured between satellite and range. So how the distance is going to be measured? So there are two ways of finding the range. One is called one-way method, or you can say one-way ranging, and another is called two-way method or two-way ranging. So in one-way ranging, what happens? Satellite send the signal and it is received by the receiver, and that's it. And on the basis of the signal that it is received at the receiver end, the coordinate can be estimated. While what happens in two-way ranging, the satellite send the signal and it is getting received by the receiver, and for the either the signal will get reflected or receiver itself will send the signal back to the satellite. So it is like to and fro. So signal is coming from satellite to receiver and then going back from receiver to satellite, and that is called two-way method. In GPS, one-way ranging method is used and receiver does not generate any signal. Let us understand it with some diagram. So schematic between range and receiver. So this is the terrain, and suppose you want to find the distance between a point on terrain and a satellite. So this is a satellite. So what it will do, it will send a signal on the terrain to a particular point, and that signal is being recorded. Now the distance between these two points, so which means satellite and point, is given as r, range or distance. So how the distance is going to be calculated? So consider a time when the signal was sent. So let the signal was sent at time t0. So t0 is the time at which the signal was sent from the satellite, and t1 is the time at which the signal was received at the receiver. And keep in mind, there is no change in signal pattern. Okay, so although it is not a completely correct statement, because as the signal passes through the atmosphere, there will definitely be some change, but for a time being, please ignore that part. So because in this case, what we are doing, we are actually using only the time gap. So the time at which the signal was sent and the time at which the signal was received. So there is a time gap between these two movements, and that time gap is used to estimate the distance. So the range distance is what? C into T1 minus T0. So the time gap, and C is the speed of electromagnetic wave, or you can say speed of light, because light is also an electromagnetic wave. So by using this formula, you can have the range, or you can have the distance between the satellite and the point of observation, where actually you have your receiver. Now, how you are going to find the position? Because in the previous slide, I just told you that how you can find the distance. So what is the actual process by which we can estimate the coordinate? So there are mainly two ways by which we can estimate the coordinate. One is code based and other one is phase based. So I am just focusing on the code based. So I will just give you a brief idea how we can estimate the coordinate. So in code based positioning, 4 unknowns are required, or actually 4 unknowns are identified. So why 4 unknowns? 3 are your actually position coordinate. So the 3 position coordinate of receiver, because you don't know the coordinate of receiver, and that is what you want to estimate. And the next thing is time bias. So the time bias between satellite and receiver. And hence 4 equations are needed. So we have 4 unknowns. So by a very basic mathematical understanding, you can see that we need at minimum 4 equations to solve the problem. Okay. Now the question is, what equation we need? What type of equation? So generally we use distance formula to estimate the coordinate. So look at it, Pn. So Pn is the distance between nth satellite to the and receiver. So n is the name of a satellite. For example, at particular location, say 5 satellites are visible. So those 5 satellites can be 1st, 3rd, 7th, 12th, and 28th. So the value of n can be 1, 3, 12, and so on. Okay, so n shows the number, or you can see the name of the satellite. Xn, Yn, and Zn are the coordinate of the satellite, which actually transferred by the satellite itself. So satellite send the signal along which contain the position of the satellite itself. Okay, so Xn, Yn, Zn are position coordinate of satellite n. X, Y, and Z are the unknown coordinate of receiver. Okay, so you don't know what is X, Y, and Z value, and that's why you are doing all this mathematics. So you know Pn, you know what is the distance between the satellite and receiver, you know what is the coordinate of satellite, you know what is the speed of light c, but you don't know X, Y, and Z, and you don't know dt, which is the time bias. Pn is the measure range. And since in this equation you have 4 unknown, X, Y, Z, and dt, so you need 4 equations. And when you solve these 4 equations, you can estimate the value of X, Y, Z, and dt. So this is the basic philosophy of positioning using GPS. And the same philosophy is applied for all other navigation satellite system, not only for GPS, but all other satellite system. So that is image created.